Hey, Team Beautifully Polished. This is Debbie. It is time for Wednesday training time. I feel like I need to have a little bell or something. I might need to look into that for next week. Some fun little Wednesday training time. So today I want to talk to you about something that I think is kind of a funny opener of you want to sell, but you don't want to sound salesy. So I hear this all the time. And it's really kind of funny if you think about it, because we all signed up to do a sales job when we signed up to do Color Street. It wasn't a surprise. We all knew what we were getting into. We all knew that the basis of our job is selling, but for some reason we want to sell without sounding salesy, which is kind of funny. And if you think about it, I'm not sure where the whole idea of salesy came from. I think salespeople just years ago got a really bad rap. I think, they use cheesy lines. Sometimes they're known to be really pushy and lie. They seem kind of more interested in you buying the product than in getting you out the door than what you actually need. I get different companies that knock at my door all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I hear the same line from many of them. I get bug companies all the time. And they all use the same exact line. You know your neighbor, Bob? Well, he says you're such a great and fun lady. So the last time someone came to my door, they said, I think it was like a neighbor across the street who I know the name, but I've never even met the person before. So when they said that person says I'm really funny, they're lying. Now I can see through them and I see what their tactics are. I know that they're trying to build my trust by showing they talk to another neighbor. And then they're trying to flatter me with nice words. Okay, great. But the problem is, before you do something like that, you better know what you're talking about. He clearly didn't know I'd never met this neighbor that he just lied and said nice things about me. So terrible starting line. So that is what gives salespeople a bad name, right? That's why we don't want to buy from people like that. That he lost my trust right there. And the only saving grace for me is a young kid, and I'm sure that's what he was trained to do. But they need to use a different type of training because it's not working. People don't want to feel pressure to buy things. They don't want someone to convince them to buy. As soon as they see someone's lying to them, they're not going to respect that person and they're going to move on, right? And I find another thing super interesting about this, about the term salesperson, and how it's given such a bad rap. But have you ever actually sat down and thought about all the jobs that require and use sales skills? I mean, a lot of them. Teachers, you're using sales techniques every day. You're trying to get kids to listen. You want them to work. You're communicating with them. You're communicating with parents. You're using different tactics, but you're also selling yourself to the parents. You're selling yourself to the kids while you're teaching them strategies. Volunteers, so many volunteer jobs out there. You're going into, let's say you're trying to go get items for an event. Let's say you're trying to get businesses to come on and partner with you. All those different volunteer jobs, you're going out in the public and you have to use your sales skills in order to get these other companies to come and do what you want. Pastors are using sales skills. They want people to come. They want people to come to their sermons. They want people to help and contribute at church. You're using sales techniques for that. Businesses, so many business positions. You have to use sales skills, whether it's you're out looking for somebody else to come and partner with you, whether you're looking for them to come and be part of an event you're doing. All of that is using sales skills. Actors and actresses have to sell themselves every day. They have to use their skills, but they also have to sell themselves. Waitresses, you're selling your skill, you're selling yourself, you're selling the food. You are asking them if they want more things. They're trying to bring the bill up to in turn get you a bigger tip. Right? I mean, and there's so much more. So it's funny that nobody looks at any of these people as salespeople. No one signs up to be a waitress and says, oh, but I don't want to be salesy. It's just part of what people do in the jobs they do. But when we have that title of being a salesperson, all of a sudden it has a different connotation. So let's talk a little bit about being a salesperson. No matter what job you have, whether it's labeled sales or not, people want to believe that they made up their mind themselves by the info you've given them. All right? So it's our job to help them make up their mind not by being pushy and convincing them of something, but by astonishing them and showing, oh my gosh, this is something I can't live without. You are trying to show them all the things that this could do for them, whether it be, our Color Street Nails or our business, and help them make up their mind so they think they came to that conclusion. If you convince them, they're not going to be happy. But if they think, oh my gosh, I think this is what I want to do, then you just won the battle, right? So it's kind of like walking a tightrope. You want to sell and you want to offer them what we have, but you don't want to sound pushy. So you're balancing that tightrope of how do I offer it and not sound, like I'm pushing it on them. So the first piece of advice I can give you guys is speaking from the heart. I mean, that is the best thing and we've talked about product conviction before. You have got to have product conviction. You have got to believe in Color Street and what opportunity we have as a business. Because remember, we're kind of selling three things. We're selling buying the product, we're selling the party, and we're selling the kit to sponsor and have them sign up and sell. So really at all times, we're selling them three different options, okay? So if you believe in all three, you believe the nails can do wondrous things for these people. You believe it can save them time, save them money. They look beautiful. It can avoid you going to the salon. We can offer these amazing nails that you wouldn't be able to paint yourself. So that's a great reason for that. The party, we can offer you something where you can get out around your friends, where you can earn free product, where you just simply can get away from all the bustle and craziness of the world. Then we can offer the product or the kit, the job, where we can offer them an income, a fun job opportunity, meeting other women, building relationships, earning free nails. So those are the three things we have to offer all the time. So know them and believe in them, and that way you're speaking from the heart. If you have passion, it's going to come through in everything you do when you try to talk to them about the nails, right? And with your passion, they're gonna start, and depending on your relationship with them, if they already trust you, they're gonna be excited because you like it. If it's someone you don't know, you're building trust with them, and then in your conversation, and then they're gonna start jumping in on your passion about the product as well. So along with being passionate, you guys, you have to be honest too. People want to hear the truth, okay? That is one reason I do not sit there and tell people they can all reseal their nails, because I don't believe it. I've opened up resealed nails and they don't work. If people ask, I've told them you can absolutely try. I can't promise you anything. This is what people have done. But if it doesn't work, I don't want you to come back and be upset with me. I also don't want you to share it with a friend, because they will not get the good experience that you will get the first time you open that set of nails. What else am I truthful about? Well, in my VIP page the other day, I love the pedicures, but I tell people I still use the manicure sets to do both my nails and toes because my toes are so small. So for me, I'm being honest. I tried a pedicure set this weekend, didn't care for it a whole lot. To me, there's way too much waste in the pedicure set for me because I only need 3 strips to do my toenails. So I'm just going to be honest about something like that. But then I'll show them the flip side and say, but other people love the pedicures because they're wider and they have a wider toe. So, when you're talking to them, same with solids. I'll say, some people have shown that there's a little bit of, say there's a little bit of wearing at the tip. So I just throw a extra top coat. Although our product has a top coat, I throw an extra top coat on there, and that way it just helps it last a little bit longer. Boom. I'm honest with them. I'm not going to paint the picture like every single set is 100% perfect and it's going to be the best thing for everybody. And even when they ask me the time or how long it will last, I say every nail is different. We all have different oils in our nails. We do different things with our nails. I keep mine on personally about a week. Some people keep theirs on up to 2. Some people leave it on and it's growing out, but they just want to prove that it'll last up here. So I'm honest that way too when I'm sharing with them, how long the nails last. I feel the more honest I am with them in the time that I have to talk to them, again, I've built trust with them. If I made everything seem like it's hunky-dory and perfect every second, well, then maybe they think, okay, this maybe is too good to be true, which our product really is too good to be true. But, we do have some things that don't all work the same on everybody. Your next thing is you guys want to encourage them to do the talking. All right, ask them open-ended questions to find out their needs. So let's say you're talking to somebody And well, I guess, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself actually. So hang on, I'll come back to that part because I'm going to give you guys kind of some scenarios. So encourage them to do the talking, all right? And then don't rush it. Don't just jump right in. I mean, some situations you have to jump right in, but don't just jump right in. Someone walks by your booth and say, hey, you want to buy a kit? You want to come sell my nails? I don't think that's really the way it's going to work, all right? And focus on the solutions. And we're going to go back and kind of break this down. Focus on the solutions. What do they need, and how can our product or our job or a nail bar be their solution? All right? So I want to talk a little bit about things you would say in me giving you these different ideas, okay? So where and when you're selling the nails always is going to make a difference, right? If you're at a vending event or a nail bar, people are there because you know they know that you're here to talk to them about a product because they're there shopping. So that's not any type of surprise. So let's talk about these situations first. It's kind of a little easier to do at a vending event because they're walking by your table. So it's such an easy opening to say, have you heard of Color Street? As they're kind of staring, you know, you can tell if they're trying to inch closer, but they don't want you to nab them. And then they'll either say yes or no, and then you can kind of invite them over and start talking to them about the product. At the nail bar, what I really highly advise you guys to do, use the beginning part of a nail bar, the part where all the guests are coming, and you know, sometimes it takes longer at some parties than others. That's the time where you're not talking Color Street. You are simply talking to the guests as they come in, making conversation with them and learning about them and actually listening. Because what you hear right now, when you go to check out with them, you can bring this information back to them if you've heard anything that could possibly be an invitation into a nail bar or them signing up with the business, or even, you know, what they need as far as product for themselves or for gifts. So pay attention and talk to as many people as you can, asking open-ended questions. And I know that can be hard. So think of things like, oh, how do you know the hostess? And then depending what she says there, that can lead you to your next question. Oh, we live in the neighborhood. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful neighborhood. How long have you lived here? You know, are there a lot of young families here? You know, you can break down the neighborhood. If she doesn't, let's say she knows her from a book club. Oh, wow, that's really cool. What type of books do you read? You know, go into questions for how she knows the hostess, which will lead you to your next ones. Another you could do is just simply, what do you like to do? You know, at our age, people aren't necessarily out there playing sports. You know, I know a lot of people ask kids that. But what do you like to do? Or do you work outside the home? Ask them, oh, so what type of hobbies do you like to do? So anything like that to get them, and typically, people like to talk about themselves. So when you offer them, you know, some of these open-ended questions, they'll just start talking, and typically they'll talk more about themselves because they're nervous to talk to you because they don't know you, and it's easier to just talk about yourself than to ask questions back. So be the person in charge of the conversation by asking questions. And now you've started to build their trust. Now you've shown interest. And now you know, you've got to also try to remember, like, picture in your head, okay, you know, this person has a gray sweatshirt on and they told me this. That's why, to me, parties over 10 can be hard to remember people with different, when you have that many people you're talking to. And you're not going to probably make it around the whole room then either. Okay, so now you've talked to them beforehand. So now checkout, which is why I've always promoted, I do personal checkout. I do not have people go on their phones and do checkout. I want to sit down with them. I want to be able to ask them questions. I want to look at their order form. I want to make sure I got their email, their phone number. I don't even like if they hurry and fill it out and hand it to me when I'm with someone else. Sometimes they just have to go and that has to happen. But for the most part, I want that time with the person so we can go through their order form. This is a time I could ask if they have backups, if they want me to ever, you know, reach out to a significant other or, you know, a family member, if birthdays were coming up or anything. That's your time to ask. And if you do a birthday club, get their birthday on there. Make sure they've joined your VIP group during your presentation. Anything like that, you go back to. But it's also the point where you can ask them about having a nail bar and or doing the business. So one thing you could do is point out something you noticed about them that night. Oh my gosh, you are so outgoing. Have you thought about doing what I do? oh my gosh, you were the life of the party here. You'd be so amazing at what I do. I can't even believe it. You put my personality to shame. Do you want to talk more about what I do? I think you'd be amazing at it. So maybe you're bringing up the business that way. Or you could pick out, again, these are comments based on what you saw of them or maybe heard them say or something. I see you picked out lots of styles that you love. How would you like to have your friends over and earn some of these free or half off, all while enjoying a fun night out with your friends? To get them to host a nail bar if you saw they had tons of nails. I've had so much fun getting to know you. I would love to party with you again if you'd be interested. What do you think about getting your friends together and you could have a ladies' night out with them and earn free nails just like Susie did tonight? All right, so those are things based on kind of what you observed about the person. None of those were pushy. They were all just very natural into what you observed about them. I'm not just making up a lie. I'm truly picking out. It's like going into a room with rose-colored glasses and trying to find the best features you see in everybody. That's what it is, which realistically we should be doing this in life anyway, right? Always trying to find the best in everybody. And something you can compliment them on, or something that, we all love compliments, even though we all don't take them well. We all love hearing them. It just makes you feel good. So go in with those rose-colored glasses, look for things that you can point out, and that way when you're talking to them, it's a real easy conversation because you're pointing out something that you see through your eyes as being very actual. And it may be something they've never even thought about. Now, I also want you to listen throughout the night. Remember I said you were talking to them earlier? It's one thing to talk. Remember, we've talked before that listening is one of the hardest skills there is, okay? It's one thing to ask. It's another thing to listen. I'm caught in this all the time with my kids. If I'm half doing Color Street and they talk to me, I don't hear anything they say. It goes like this. And then they'll go, what did I say, Mom? I'm like, oh, crud. Don't be that person. When you were at the party, be attentive on whoever's talking. Don't be thinking of everything else going on in the party. All right, you've got to listen and pay attention to what they say. So at checkout, you can use your sales skills. Oh my gosh, you mentioned you have a son entering college and tuition was going to be pretty steep seeing they're going out of state. Would you like me to tell you more about Color Street? It's a great way to earn extra money for college. Easy as that. You're basing on what they had said earlier. I heard you saying you wanted to go on vacation, but you just didn't want to spend the money. I would love to share Color Street's business opportunity with you. It's a great way to earn extra money, especially for things like vacations. Would you like to chat about that? Notice that I'm pointing out what I heard, and then I'm offering my business, and I'm actually asking them, would they like to talk about it? Asking them permission for me to tell about it. So again, I'm letting them be in control of this conversation by asking them permission. Instead of me pushing it on them, I'm getting permission from them to be able to talk. If they say yes, I'll say, great, let's set up a time. Would it, because obviously you're checking everybody else out. You can't talk about it right now. Would you like to talk after this event, or I can call you tomorrow at this time or this time? Set something up, and then you can hand them your packet. Look over this information between the time you and I are talking, and then I can answer any questions you have. I cannot wait to talk to you about this. I think you are absolutely going to love it. So again, none of this is pushing myself on them. What I'm doing is just offering them something based on what I heard them say. So people at events and nail bars know that we're going to talk to them about our product. So it's a little bit different. You don't really have to, you don't really have to bring up much stuff about the product. They're coming to check out. So it's more the business opportunity in the nail bar that you're working on at closing. Okay. Now during the party, you might be talking to them about the nails. Maybe they say, oh, I won't wear anything like this. Oh my gosh, I totally understand. I have a lot of people that don't, I've met so many people doing this that don't paint their nails, or they do shellac and they stick to it. Can I just offer that this is an amazing gift to give? It may, I send this out with it being May and graduation time. I can send a strip of nails with a check to somebody, and it just makes that check look fancier when they're graduating. If we have their school colors, I typically send them that. It's a great gift to have in your closet for a friend's birthday when you go meet her for lunch. So talk to them. I mean, there's many other gift opportunities. But again, I didn't sound salesy. I was just telling them other opportunities. I complimented what they do with their nails so they don't feel bad or embarrassed, and then just offered them a different solution Because again, they want to be able to help the hostess, but you know, you don't want that person in the corner of the room being resentful of the hostess because she doesn't want to have to get something. But as soon as you offer that gift, it's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. $11 to $14 gift. Who doesn't want that? I mean, that's a great gift to give somebody. I just sent something into my husband's work today for someone at his office that helped me do something last week. A little card, a strip of nails. Oh my gosh, she texted me, you made my day from one set of nails, you guys. It really makes people get excited. So think of that. So what about the people that you meet just when you're out and about, right? Those are the ones that can be a little bit harder to sell to because you really get maybe this much time. If it's a cashier at a desk, you get like that much time. So what's your not even 30-second elevator story? What's about your 5-second, right? I mean, how many times are you going to pay to say, like your nails? So a response I typically always say is, thanks, it's Color Street. Oh my gosh, have you heard of it? It's dry nail polish. I just did it in the car. Actually, I don't always say this part, but sometimes I do. If I just like the doctor the other day, I did say, I just did the car before coming in. Would you like me to show you a sample? I mean, quick, easy like that. You're not, again, I asked for permission. You know, or you could even say, I have a sample. Would you like to try one? Or would you like me to show you? Again, if you ask of that, if they've heard of it first, and then get permission, again, by kind of letting them have control, I think you get that mindset off of this woman's just trying to sell to me because I'm just asking them, all right? So as you're getting it out of your bag, let's say, this is the time in those, again, those seconds you have with that person to be able to ask them a couple questions, which will lead you to be able to talk to them. Oh, so what do you currently do to your nails? All right, so now you're going to find out more information from them to see if they do anything, if they don't like it, if they're spending too much money, if they don't do anything, they don't have the time. So then after you show them, you can be able to offer the solution. Remember, people want solutions for their problems. So when you're asking them what they currently do with their nails, now you can be providing that solution to them. All right, so again, you're not throwing it in their face, but you're offering them a solution to their problem, what people want to buy something, okay? So, you know, if they say they don't do anything because they don't want to wait for it to dry, put it on and say, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So this is going to be what I consider 95% dry. So you say you hate to wait for nails to dry. I can put this on and go to bed and I don't get bed lines in it. The only thing you have to do is after you put it on, you just don't want to wash your hands or put any grease or lotions on it or anything for about 30 minutes. But you can do regular activities, just nothing that could push the tip of the nail down. I mean, that quick. You can tell them that. So again, the key, you guys, for not sounding salesy is what we can do for them. People in this day and age want to be heard, right? Everybody has a voice because we've all been given the privilege of, we all have a voice, right? Sorry, I'm so handsy. I need to like handcuff my hands during these. So it's worth taking the time to listen to people so they can be heard. It's going to go a long way. All right. Now I just want to take a couple minutes before we're done. We're getting close to 12:30 about social media. Social media is another place where you don't want to do salesy, and it's a mistake I think a lot of people can make. Okay. Social media is made for making friends and building relationships. Facebook does not want you in there selling. All right. So their algorithms are always going to put social posts over a business post. People are not going to want, I tell you, even me, any post I post on Color Street, I get like 0 likes. I mean, unless it's like something about maybe one of our meetings and friends, but if it's just simply a straight up nail picture, I'll get nothing, barely. But if I weave it into my conversation, like I said about a meeting, or I just had so much fun with these ladies, then it's a personal post and I've weave my business into it, then I get people to comment. But if I just do straight up nails, I don't get it. People, I mean, I do get it. People don't want to hear about your business. All right. They want to maybe know what your business is doing for you. They don't want to see you just posting your nails. That's what you do in like your VIP group or a business page that's dedicated for that reason. So that leads me to tell you, please don't post Color Street all the time. If you don't want to be salesy, then don't just post your nail fees. Don't just post Color Street this, Color Street that. That is 100% pure salesy in the social media world, all right? Again, weave it into your posts. Maybe you're going to hold up and say, oh my gosh, it's Monday. Well, your nails are there with your mug. All right. Maybe it's going to be, super excited. I'm a girl boss, something like that. Again, my nails are showing. I am a girl boss, but it's a subtlety. Okay. So weave it in that people don't see that you're super annoying and just talking about Color Street. Maybe it's going to be at one of our meetings, just great night out, or maybe you meet someone from Color Street out to do something. Great night with one of my friends, one of my work friends. Love that Color Street's introduced me to this new friend I have. Okay. But you're not telling them to buy. You're just telling what it's done for you. Join groups. Okay. Find 2 groups, you guys, not Color Street groups. Like, for example, I am in a group for parents whose kids are leaving the house. I'm in an arthritis group, and I'm in some Michigan State groups because my son's going there. Join groups. Start making comments on people's posts within these groups. These are people you do not know, but you have a common interest in it. So don't just join random groups, but groups that you have a common interest, all right? Because then it's going to be enjoyable and natural when you post on their comments. You start making different comments in there, people are going to notice you. People might then click on you, and hopefully your Facebook group, your Facebook page has a link to your business page there. They get curious, they can link into that. So that's a very subtle way of building relationships without even talking about your business, but you're building relationships with people completely outside of Color Street that have the same interest in you. And you can start these conversations back and forth. When you comment, ask a question back so it forces them to then go into conversation with you. All right? And again, you're not doing it to be fake and phony. You're just enhancing your social circles, but you're doing it in a social media world. All right? My last tip for social media is give recommendations. All right? People don't want to buy on social media, right? But they all want recommendations. I was looking for a new dermatologist. I said, who knows of a new dermatologist, looking for recommendations. People post that all the time. So ask for recommendations from people, but also give them. If you try a new tea, just because I have my mug here. I try a new tea. Oh my gosh, loving this tea I got from whatever store at the mall. It's amazing. Has anyone tried this? And then, people are going to start paying attention to you. You're building their trust, and they're going to start responding and looking. If they start doing things that you are recommending, and they find they like it too, they're going to start looking to you as being an expert. Once they start looking to you as being an expert, then you sell Color Street. Well, geez, if she knows about all these other things, this Color Street thing must be a great product. So again, it's a very subtle way of selling without being right in their face. And is this going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. Social media is not an overnight thing. Social media is I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Nurturing. You're nurturing relationships, but so are all relationships, right? You meet people at parties, but over time then in your VIP group, you're nurturing that relationship so they come back to you. We have a relationship business, you guys. So just remember, everything is about building relationships and seeing what they need. So the bottom line is, don't go out there and vomit Color Street information, all right? Build relationships, speak from the heart, speak the truth, and find out how you can help other people and solve their problems. And if you're doing all these, I promise you that you are not going to be sounding salesy, okay? So good luck to you guys. I hope this helps, and I hope you are ready to go practice some of your selling techniques. I challenge anybody on the phone or on the live right now. We have some people still on here. Challenge all 5 of you, because I'm doing the same today too. Call customers today, do a follow-up, and ask them in that follow-up, check in on their nails and just say, oh my gosh, so I'm booking my calendar for May and June, and I think it'd be a super fun evening. I would love to hang out with you and your friends if you wanted to get some friends together and have a nail bar. I don't know if that, whatever wording you want to use, that was kind of mishmash together there, but whatever you want to say, I challenge you to call at least 10 customers right now and see if you can't get one nail bar by just casually talking to them, checking in about their nails and asking if they'd be interested. And if you do, then you can comment in the messages below. I reached out to 2 different people the other day. I got lucky that day. 2 out of 2 booked. I don't always get that lucky. But they were people who had kind of expressed interest. So they were a little bit easier than just a random person. But I challenge you to try that right now, or whenever you have penciled into your calendar for working today, and see if you can use some of your sales techniques without sounding salesy and get some nail bars. Okay? Have a great day, everybody.